Greetings, all! Today, we'll be examining the relatively uncommon Psychic-type Pokemon Chingling, the Bell Pokémon, and its relatively rare evolution Chimecho, the Wind Chime Pokémon. While they might be among the more unusual of creatures in terms of their forms, the members of the Chingling family can still be quirky creatures to keep an eye on when it comes to making music for others.
Chingling have small, yellow orb-shaped bodies with a pair of small cheek holes and a smaller set above their thin mouth that acts as eyes for them, further featuring a tiny pair of digiless legs and arms. They have a pair of large tassel-like tails attached to a hinge-like structure on their back end, with a red and white striped motif that coils around to a series of 3 ribbon end split ends. Their evolved form, Chimecho, have a more ovoid body with white flesh from the body to the end of their long flat tail that hangs directly beneath them like the end of a wind chime, which splotches a red coloration on their cheeks and the end of their tail. They feature the same sort of limbs seen in Chingling, as well as bright yellow pupilless eyes with a single large yellow oblong sucker disc on the top of their head. Chingling and Chimecho are unique among psychic types for their reliance on sound as their primary means of defense and offense. Both of their bodies are almost completely hollow, and thusly make excellent resonating chambers for sound waves. However, while Chingling are only able to produce a single ringing noise, Chimecho possess a complex enough internal structure to produce 7 distinct notes. In addition, the normal cries of Chingling are often too high-pitched for humans to hear properly, an issue that is obviously absent from Chimecho. Even when utilized properly, Chingling are only able to deafen foes with their noise, while Chimecho can produce concussive waves of force strong enough to knock opponents to the ground.
The inability to properly channel sound waves seems to be the result of a genetic mutation brought upon unhatched Chimecho eggs by the presence of certain chemical odors, just as with many other types of baby Pokemon.
This lack of control is especially evident in these creatures' movements, as every single flouncing hop they make causes the bell-like orb in the back of the throat to vibrate. Chimecho, because they can control the levitate ability they and Chingling share with each other more efficiently, do not have this problem. As such, trainers should be careful about their Chimecho eggs, and should only have them mutated into Chingling eggs via the proxy of a held pure incense if they generally need one to fill out their Pokédex. As far as their combat abilities go in the case of Chimecho, it is quite clear that these creatures are not really built for serious combat, as all of their base stats are below average for fully evolved Psychic-type Pokemon. As such, they are more likely to have a place in friendly battles or a non-battle position in one's life, though that doesn't take away from the charm they can show in and out of battle. In terms of personality, Chingling are rather simple-minded and are easily trained. However, they tend to be a bit soft-skinned and are easily hurt by insults or taunts. If upset sufficiently enough, Chingling will begin to cry for long periods of time, sometimes up to several hours at a time, before they finally settle down again. For trainers with sensitive ears, this can often prove to be a deal-breaker in terms of raising Chingling. Thankfully, these creatures tend to pick up on their trainers' emotions and will often mimic them when stressed, giving trainers with a happy disposition an advantage. Aside from these few details, there is little else to say about Chingling, save for the fact that they enjoy being around humans more than they do being by themselves in the wild, which is possibly a reflection of their relative weakness as baby Pokemon.
Chimecho are among the easiest fully evolved Pokemon to train, if only because they seem to enjoy the company of humans to a tremendous degree.
Chimecho tend to rely on the wind when moving across vast distances in the warmer seasons, and seem to be rather carefree in terms of their final destination or any sudden stops along the way. To these creatures, every stop is a potential new home. Chimecho often disguise themselves as actual wind chimes by using the sucker pad on their heads to attach themselves to tree branches or the eaves of homes. This is most likely done as a way of fooling potential predators. At night, these creatures roam the habitats freely, using their long tails to pluck berries from trees and low-lying bushes without ever having to go near the ground. If faced with significant opposition, Chimecho will use their incredibly strong uproar attack to knock back their attackers, giving them enough time to escape. Overall, though, Chimecho are still rather weak and unfit for long periods of intense combat, relegating their usefulness to that of pets or even party decorations for most.
I have to say that, even if the members of the Chingling family might not be the strongest of fighters, they can still be quite cute and fun to be around as long as you're careful about how you interact with them. Chingling, though extremely loud and annoying when distressed, can easily perk up with a little positive reinforcement and be a lot of fun to play with. Even if the sound they make might be grating to the ears, it's nothing a bit of training can't fix in practice. Chimecho are lovely, delicate little beasts that can make for great fun if you need something relaxing to listen to on a windy day. Their rarity might make them a bit unconventional to work with, but it only serves to make the luck of finding one that much more pleasing and perfect for casual observers of the world to interact with.
While they might call the night home more than any other time of day, the members of the Chingling family can still be a bit of a pick-me-up any time of the day once they get a good tune going. You might have to go out of your way to find them if you're not a night person, but they can be entertaining at the very least, so long as you can hear the music they make.
Just do yourself a favor and make sure to keep them in a pleasant mood if you can help it. They might not be able to fight back much against attackers, but at the very least they can certainly give you an earful, and make sure you don't go near them without some sort of ear protection ever again.
Thank you for watching this video. It brings me great joy to be able to speak to you all in the world each and every time we meet like this, to explore the many different facets of both the world of Pokemon as we know it, and the world as we live it, through every adventure we have with Pokemon by our side. If you'd like to, please subscribe, ring the bell and all that jazz, to keep yourself updated on content uploads and other materials of the like. You can also follow me on Twitter if you'd like to know right away when something new is uploaded, and my written works, from which most of this is based on, can be found on DeviantArt. Links to both can be found in the description down below. Remember that the world of Pokemon is a place full of wonder and mystery, and you never know what to expect. So, stay vigilant, keep watch, and always be prepared for the unexpected. Until next time, trainers and friends of all sorts, have a wonderful time.